Hello, I'm pregnant with baby number 2. So I'm still in my first trimester. It hasn't kind of been plain sailing. So how I found out I was pregnant, I was obviously late on my period, and I was quite late, like really late on my period, and I was thinking, like, I really would love another baby. I hope my period doesn't come, I hope it doesn't come, and then it didn't. And I decided to take 3 pregnancy tests at once. And why I didn't take it sooner is I've just seen so many negative pregnancy tests when I was trying for Bear. So I just thought, like, I can't see another negative pregnancy test, so I'll just wait till my period. But it was late. I've been feeling a little bit nauseous, which with Bear, the only things I had was heartburn, that was it. I also have had some bleeding, which with my son I did have a little bit. I had bright red spot bleeding, but it wasn't implantation bleeding because it was too far along for that. And I actually went to the hospital in the middle of the night because I thought the worst was happening. So they gave me a ultrasound and an internal scan, and they said we can see like there's blood, but there's no reason for it. And then like my pregnancy went on with Bear and he was absolutely healthy and everything was fine. This time round the bleeding is very different. So it's I'm trying not to stress myself out about it. And I do have a midwife's appointment today. So hopefully it will all be kind of cleared up today what it is. So it's either really light pink or brown, and I know that brown blood is old blood that your body collects and then it lets go of it at different times, because obviously women have periods, so like it lets go of it. I bleed a little bit and then nothing for the whole day. I got like very upset about it at first because I thought the worst was happening, and then it stopped. And so I didn't really understand what was going on. The appointment is it's just your introduction one, where they tell you what hospital you'll be giving birth in, how far along you are, and then any like problems and stuff like that. So I will say I have had bleeding almost every day for 2 weeks now, but the tiniest amount. And I think what they'll probably do is they'll probably say, okay, go to the hospital for like an ultrasound, or like an internal investigation and an ultrasound like the first time. I feel a bit stressed about it. Like, my voice is getting a little bit, I feel stressed, but I still am pregnant. Like, I took a pregnancy test 2 days ago and I'm still absolutely fine. Really strong pregnancy lines. I'm gonna take a pregnancy test before I go, again, just to check. And it doesn't feel like anything. Like, I'm not in any kind of pain. There's no like intense cramps or anything, but, so I'm hoping everything is just absolutely fine. I'm just having some granola. So there should be 2 lines that are going to show up on this, and they should show up really quickly. So I'm just dipping it in my urine here. Got it in a little sample thing. I think that's about enough time in there. And then 2 lines should appear here really quickly. Oh god. So 1. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh god, I'm shaking. 2. They're not like massively strong. Okay, there are definitely 2 lines there, which means I am still pregnant, but I don't know if I'm messing myself up. That one seems fainter than the other, and I'm just feeling like it was stronger. I don't know. But I think I'm just like, my mind's playing tricks on me now. So this is the test that I took first. You see one line looks a bit lighter. And then I just took another test and they both look dark. So I'm confused. Let's put them next to each other. Oh, this one looks darker. I feel like I'm just like messing with my head now, because this is showing like strong, pregnant, came up in a second. Even this one, even though I'm like convinced myself that line slider, it still came up strong, pregnant. So look how much darker that one looks than that. So yeah, still pregnant. I'm just gonna go to my appointment now. So some time has passed from that clip you just saw. I was very emotional. I was bleeding, and then I couldn't see pregnant on the pregnancy test, but then I saw pregnant, but then I was thinking, is it a lighter line than the line I had before? So I went along to my midwife appointment. She said, it's probably fine, but I'm not going to send you for a scan, which is kind of bizarre because with my son, when I had bleeding, I phoned them, I told them, and they went immediately go to the hospital and get checked out. And I had to have basically like this smear test thing and then also have an ultrasound and they could check the heartbeat. Whereas then when I'm face to face with this woman, and it's my second pregnancy, she's like, it's probably nothing. It's probably fine. As for some women, it is fine. So she said, like, you're going to go for your 12-week scan, so you'll see then. The 12-week scan, I went for that, and I was told you're not 12 weeks, you're actually 11 weeks. We can't give you a scan. So then I was stressed, and I'd already told the woman who was doing the scan. She said, are you okay? And I said, I'm a little bit anxious because I have had some bleeding, so I'm just a little bit anxious for this scan. And she was like, oh, okay. And then when she was doing the scan, she wouldn't play the heartbeat. Normally they just play the heartbeat. You can hear it while you're listening to the scan sometimes. And she wouldn't play the heartbeat, and I was just feeling really anxious about that. They couldn't fit me in for when I was 12 weeks. They said we can, like, because they've got too many women, so we can only fit you in when you're 13 weeks. So I had 2-week wait to see what was going to go on. I also didn't want to have a private scan because I don't know if this is true or not, okay? Do not take my word for it, but online some people believe that you shouldn't have too many scans, that can affect the baby, and that you should wait at least a month between every single scan. But obviously if something's wrong, then you would have more scans. But I was thinking, I don't want to have a private scan now and then in 2 weeks time I'm having another scan, because if you're supposed to wait a month in between scans, I don't want to do anything wrong with doing that. So I just had to wait. So then I went for my 12-week and everything was fine. So time has like slipped away with me. I've moved house, so that's why I haven't done any updates. And then I had the full scan where they measure all of the baby and everything, and it was so painful, and I have no idea why. So they put the thing on your stomach, there's like your stomach, and they're just putting the thing over it and they're measuring. So they'll do a bit, measure, stop, have to type in all the measurements to make sure everything is okay with the anatomy and that everything is where it should be and progressing as it should be. And I don't know what happened to my back. It just started spasming, and I've never had this before in my life. And so the baby had the face facing in to my spine, and so she kept saying, you're going to have to move so that hopefully the baby will move. So I was laying, because it's very hard, the table, isn't it? So I was laying on my back, but then I was kind of twisting my pelvis, and my back just started spasming. So she would have, like, say that's the thing, the machine. So she's got it there. She's got the baby. I would spasm, so it would move it out of the way. And then she was like, I can stop the scan at any point if you want. But the baby was just in a really awkward position. I had to go out. I had to walk up and down the stairs. I had to do star jumps to try and get the baby to move. I had to drink loads of cold water. I had drunk loads of water before the appointment, because you always have to have a full bladder. And then they do the scan and they're like pressing on your stomach. And I'm always just thinking, I need a wee. I want to enjoy the moment more. Does anyone else feel like that? Like with scans, you want to enjoy the moment because it's so incredible. You've got like a baby inside your stomach. It's crazy. But the whole time I'm just thinking, I'm bursting for a wee. I wish I could enjoy it more and just, have that experience, because how many times are you going to be, pregnant within your life? It's not something that's going to happen to you every year, but I just can't. I'm always just so distracted by that whilst the scan's going on. And then I feel like more emotional when I see the pictures. So after the scan's finished, I'm looking at the pictures and like, oh, okay, there's my baby there. But anyway, so that all happened. The appointment took over an hour to do that full scan, which with my first child, it wasn't like that at all. But with this one, the baby was just not playing with it at all. So I had to wander around. It was just so painful, my back. And then after we had left the hospital, my spine was so painful because she had me like in this really weird twisted position. I've had a really bad acid reflux, which I had that at the end of my pregnancy with my son. But throughout this pregnancy, from finding out I was pregnant, I just get it all the time, acid reflux continually. And I can eat like a few strawberries and I'll get acid reflux. So they say eat smaller meals. You don't have like a big main meal, because then that might help it a little bit. But it's the pregnancy hormones that cause the acid reflux. And for me, it's just been non-stop. I've moved house. I'm now trying to find a midwife, because I've moved completely different from where I used to live. So I can't use the same midwives. And that's a really complicated thing because you have to self-refer, and then I got a phone call from a midwife, but it was on a private number. So now, and this is all through the NHS, now I have no way of contacting the local midwife service in the area, and I've contacted my doctor and I've been referred and there's been nothing. So I don't know what's going on with that. So I haven't been having my appointments. You know, when they check your wee, you have to wee in a little pot and then they check to see if you've got stuff like preeclampsia or any kind of infections. I haven't had that, and I haven't got any more scans to come. This feels like, oh, it's your second baby, bye, like you've done this before, like, you know, just get on with it, love. But with my first, I ended up having to have a cesarean because they thought I had an infection, but it turned out I didn't have an infection, so I could have had a natural birth. And the surgeon that did my cesarean said if you have another baby, there's no reason why you can't have a natural birth. So I just want to talk to a midwife about that, really. Like, I'm not saying like we have to meet up every week. I'm not saying I need to see you every week for a chat. I'm just saying I just want to find out what are the risks after you've had a cesarean to have a natural birth. I don't have any plans to have any private scans, although I would love to have a private scan just to hear the heartbeat. It's just the heartbeat for me. Like, I don't know why I get so much more emotional than seeing the heartbeat than seeing the baby on the screen. There's just something about, there's like a little heart in there. And I understand there's a full body in there, but there's just something about the heartbeat that I just think is so special. And with private scans, you can buy stuff like they'll record your baby's heartbeat and then give it to you in like a teddy bear. So like in Build-A-Bear, when they put like a little machine in and then you can have the heartbeat forever. And I think it's just something so special in that. I never did that with my son, but I might do it this time round because I just think that's just... it's just the thought of like a little heart beating inside you, that at the moment I've got two hearts, got my heart and then my baby's heart beating in there as well. I might do like a gender reveal video, talk about that. Also let me know, because I really want to know, when it's baby number 2, do you have a lot of midwife appointments, you know, when they're like check your weight, those appointments, or are they just like literally get on with it? You've done it before, you know, you just, you know, pack your bags, love, you'll be at the hospital soon, just get on with it. And it just feels like a completely different experience. But I'm not complaining about it or anything like that. I'm just saying it is a different experience. So what was your opinion on the NHS or whatever healthcare service you have of having that with your second baby? Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling on. I'm going to end this first trimester vlog. It was a very stressful first trimester. I am so glad the bleeding has stopped. So I'm going to end this video here, but I will see you again soon for another video.